Everybody, Josh Sigurdson, World Alternative Media here, and of course the coronavirus is still one of the biggest stories in the world, and it's continuing to spread. But furthermore, there are some seriously creepy actions taken by China that are controversial to say the least, and I wanted to go into some of those as well as some of the most recent news regarding the coronavirus. Make sure to press like on this video and share it on social media to get around the shadow banning here on YouTube. But as this New York Post article says, drones scold Chinese residents without masks as coronavirus spreads. And this is not just the only thing that they're doing with drones there, but I'm going to show you this video real quick. It says, walking around without a protective face mask? Well, you can't avoid these sharp-tongued drones. Many villages and cities in China are using drones equipped with speakers to patrol during the coronavirus outbreak. And you could see some of this video here that I'll play for you guys. And you could see it essentially going up to people and harassing them. And, you know, this is just another example of the creepy testing of technocratic technology in China. I mean, a lot of people will, you know, defend this, but it's more that China finally has an opportunity to just openly use this stuff. It was only a few months back that China was caught in a bunch of police interrogation videos interrogating people for saying negative things about some police online and strapped to chairs being interrogated. I mean, it's China, going back to 1972 when Henry Kissinger visited with Mao Zedong, who killed tens of millions of people, and creating an alliance with China, leading into the Trilateral Commission under Zbigniew Brzezinski in the late 1970s, and then leading into what we now would say are the results of this trade war that's going on, the tariffs and all that kind of stuff. China has been a growing, technocratic police state for a very long time, and there's no doubt that utilizing this crisis, as they've said before, all you need is a right crisis, can be the perfect thing for China to be able to crack down on its own citizens. As it says in this article, Chinese authorities are taking coronavirus surveillance to new heights, using drones to scold citizens who go outside without face masks. And I quote, yes, Auntie, this is the drone speaking to you. You shouldn't walk about without wearing a mask, says the caption of a video posted Friday on Twitter by the Global Times, the English language newspaper published by the state-run People's Daily. The video shows an older woman in the northern province of Inner Mongolia, more than 1,000 miles from the center of the outbreak in the city of Wuhan, smiling up at the drone. Then she turns and begins walking quickly away as it follows her, and I quote, yes, you'd better go back home and don't forget to wash your hands, the caption continues. And I quote, you see, we've been telling people to stay at home, but you still wander outside. Now a drone is watching you. At least 259 people have died and 11,791 are officially ill with the virus, which first appeared in Wuhan. It has spread to at least 24 other countries, prompting the World Health Organization to declare a global health emergency. Researchers from Hong Kong University estimate more than 75,000 people in Wuhan, a city of 11 million, could be infected. Interestingly enough, I should add, well, first of all, there's probably a lot more people infected than it says, but interestingly enough, it should be said that at the moment after the World Health Organization analyzed and acknowledged the outbreak, it went up like 100 times. Again, all you need is the right crisis, right? I want to carry on to this next article, which also goes into the use of drones in China. As the Daily Star reports, coronavirus drone army deployed to spray disinfectant across China's cities. One drone managed to spray disinfectant across 16,000 square meters in just one morning in the latest attempt by Chinese authorities to combat the spread of coronavirus. And as the article says, China has deployed an army of drones to disperse disinfectant over villages and cities in the latest attempt to combat the spread of coronavirus. At least 213 people have died from the killer disease since it was first contracted from a market in the city of Wuhan, Hubei province. Now, there's actually a lot of evidence that it wasn't actually contracted in this market, which, by the way, China's full of markets just like it, where they eat koalas and dogs and, bats and all sorts of weird stuff. There's evidence that it could have come out of there, but there's also a lot of evidence countering that, and patenting that goes back to 2015 that we've gone into in past videos, possibly being the culprit. A Canadian lab, which has been largely speculative, but there's a theory that a Chinese couple stole the coronavirus, novel coronavirus, from a Winnipeg, Canada lab. China, the Chinese government has been weaponizing it, originally found in the Netherlands. A long story. We've broken it down in past videos. But with that said, and one thing is for sure, it does advantage the Chinese government in one way, advantage the monetary system in one way, all the while hurting the markets in one way, and also hurting China's ability to produce large amounts of tourism and large amounts of business around the world. It has put a lot of China on standstill, and I mean, Russia has closed their border in southeastern Russia with China. But continuing on here, it says the World Health Organization has since declared the outbreak a global emergency, with Brits trapped in the regions being evacuated on emergency flights. Every region across the country has reported cases of coronavirus, and China has now taken to using drones to try to prevent the spread. Footage posted on social media in the coastal provinces of Jilin, Shandong, and Zhejiang shows drones hovering in the air as disinfectant liquid is sprayed from their underside. And you can see an image of one of the drones right there. As it continues here, it says one of the objects is seen being led along a street by its operator behind, also spraying the liquid onto the ground. In the city of Hezi, Shandong, one villager offered his personal drone, which was able to disinfect an area of 16,000 square meters in a single morning. It is not the first time authorities have been snapped spraying disinfectant, with images surfacing earlier this month of vehicles spreading the liquid. But it is thought the unmanned aerial vehicles are proving to be a much faster method of delivering public hygiene and traditional methods. Agricultural and police patrol drones have also been repurposed in China's southwestern Sichuan province to release disinfectant in areas not otherwise easily accessible. Crop protection officer Qin Chunghong from the village of Longfu, Sichuan, reportedly disinfected his village on 30th January using his own drone. He said, and I quote, "Drones can cover a much wider area and achieve very good disease prevention results. As disinfectant is harmless to humans, it doesn't affect anyone's daily life." Now, a lot of people can question that or be a bit skeptical about that, because I mean, governments have been spraying stuff out of planes and helicopters and even trucks for a very long time, from everything from mosquito spraying to cloud seeding and all that kind of stuff. And most of our viewers have heard of this and know of it. There's the geoengineering acts that have been passed by many governments around the world, and a lot of patents, etc. But with that said, and whistleblowers. But with that said, there's a lot of people who say, hey, this is not such a bad thing, because, it's that or everyone could die from this thing that has about 2 to 5% death rate. It's it's hard to really tell at this point, because unfortunately it still could be in the early stages. It seems to be outdoing SARS. It's not as deadly as SARS, but it's more easily able to infect people right now. And it's spreading really fast. Now, half of me is like, this is just fear-mongering. We go from the Zika virus, H1N1, H2N9, SARS, foot and mouth disease, Lyme disease. You can go on and on. Ebola, which had a 60 to 90% death rate, unlike the very small death rate from something like the coronavirus, which this is just one strain of corona. There's a bunch of different kinds of coronaviruses out there that have been spread around the world previously. But I also, at the same time, it's like there's a lot of evidence that the Chinese government has been covering it up and purposely sending people out into the streets. A bunch of governments have been, putting on major public street displays for the Chinese New Year, inviting Chinese people from all over the world straight from these areas that could very well be infected to their towns and cities. And we see that in Las Vegas right now. As I reported in my last video, there were thousands and thousands of people, Chinese nationals, at the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas, one of the most toured places in the world. And I couldn't help but be a little bit concerned because people were coughing and hacking everywhere. Of course, it is cold and flu season, so that has to be taken account of as well. But part of me is like, this is overblown. Obviously, we've been through this all the time, over and over again. But at the same time, I'm also like, but it could actually be something that the government is utilizing for its best, benefit to spread around a disease and then come in with, vaccinations, different medications. They're spraying the streets, more reason to quarantine, more ways for them to take control of the citizens. And that's quite alarming because this does actually put people in a situation where they are very dependent. And as this article out of Military Times says, Pentagon prepared to house nearly 1,000 quarantined people over coronavirus fears. And this makes me a little bit concerned about, the FEMA camp kind of risk that people have been talking about for a long time. Again, it benefits a state to actually be able to utilize things that they've been building for a long time. Encampments, quarantine encampments, possible martial law if it gets too big, the ability to shut down borders, the ability to spy on people like we see in China there, the ability to spray random chemicals into the air that they call disinfectant. I don't know. I don't trust the government as far as I can throw them. And they're really, really big, so I can't throw them at all. It's insanely heavy. This is a government that's killed millions of people over time, so I'm supposed to just, hope for the best that they know that they're doing the right thing. And they're totally not weaponizing this and utilizing this to cause panic and create order out of chaos. Sorry if that makes me a conspiracy theorist, but, there's a lot of questions to be asked here. And carrying on, it shows that there are these new stories coming out of places like Boston. It says coronavirus case in Boston is first in Massachusetts, 8th in the U.S., and obviously, another big story that's hitting the news right now is New York City's first possible coronavirus patient tested at Manhattan Hospital, which just broke as I report this, though the news is moving so fast that by the time I get this video to people, it's very likely that the news will have changed. It's such a fast-moving story, but it just shows what to know. New York City's first possible coronavirus case was reported Saturday. The health department said the patient recently traveled from China. Testing to confirm coronavirus is expected to take a minimum of 36 to 48 hours, so that's convenient. And this is happening at Bellevue Hospital in Manhattan, as the article mentions. At the same time, you have China bashing the United States here. It says China slams Trump's coronavirus travel limits, not a gesture of goodwill. And they show someone being tested there for their temperature, which is happening all over China. Door-to-door checks are happening. Again, more evidence of their ability to heighten their control over the populace. Anyway, you can comment below what you think about, are the travel limits too far? Are they not enough? What do you think of this? Is this one giant fear-mongering campaign? Is this a cover-up? Is this bigger than people say? I'm getting comments on all my videos on this subject on both sides. People are attacking me, saying I'm not reporting on it enough, and other people are saying I'm reporting on it too much and it's fear-mongering. I'm just reporting what is in the news, and I want you guys to let me know what you think, because there's no putting a finger on it. There's a lot of evidence that Bill and Melinda Gates are involved in some massive conspiracy, and then there's other things that are countering that evidence, showing that it's just fake news. I don't know. Guys, this is a crazy story. As USA Today says, coronavirus is scary, but the flu is deadlier, more widespread. And that's what I want to, finish off with, is that there have been an alarming amount of deaths from the regular flu this year, and household colds, which are spreading like wildfire, and no one's talking about it. Everyone's talking about the coronavirus. And I want people to know that, there's more than one thing, and the news only wants you to see what they want you to see and what benefits them or the establishment best. So look into what you're being distracted from. Are there other epidemics that are spreading that no one's talking about? I mean, a lot of people have been dying from the flu lately. My mother works in a hospital, and she's been seeing in Canada countless flu victims, entire families that are showing up extremely ill. There's a lot to be concerned about here, and we should be taking precautionary measures. Prepare always for the worst and hope for the best. Wash your hands. Be hygienic. Boost your immune system. Be healthy. And let me know what you think they're distracting from, if anything, because whenever these stories hit all the headlines, you have to wonder, what aren't we hearing about? What aren't they talking about? Epstein, Assange, war, possibly some kind of massive news that is being covered up by distractions, causing everyone to get scared and beg for the government to help them out of a situation that very likely the government put them in the first place, like this coronavirus situation. Let me know what you think below. I appreciate everyone watching today. Make sure to check those links below. Give this video a like, share it on social media, and send me all the information you know. There's evidence that it could be connected to some HIV possible vaccine test. And, you know, there's a lot of stories, you know, noise, confusion, everything right now that's hitting us from all ends. And we're trying to decipher it as best we can. But we can't, you know, I'm one-man job here. There's only so much I can do. So let me know below what you think. Give us the latest stories. Let us know what's happening around the world and your take on it. We want to hear from you. And as always, check out our merchandise store below. GoFundMe, Patreon, subscribe. Star, we're shadow banned to death here. They cut us down by over 85% since last January in viewership. Our algorithm is just shot. You can actually see live all the views in the first like 5 minutes. You get 500 views, and then they just cut it off, and you get 1 view a minute if you're lucky for hours, and it doesn't reach anyone. We're demonetized 97%, and we aren't able to reach people anymore. So make sure to share it, make sure to like it, and also check us out on other things like Float, flote.app. That's a future of social media, replacing Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon all in one, with encrypted private messaging, monetization on videos, live streams with you know, super chats that you could utilize crypto with, and of course no algorithm telling you what you can or cannot see. So make sure to join us on Float. We're at Josh Sigurdson as well as at Wham, W-A-M. We can't do it without you guys. You guys are what keeps free information alive. Don't forget it. You are the most important part of this story. Anyway, appreciate everyone joining us. And until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change. Like what you see here at Wham, don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We cannot do it without you guys. Every donation is extremely, extremely appreciated, as we're getting incredibly shadow banned. We've lost 80% of our audience since January of 2019 and counting. They are ripping us apart here on YouTube, and the only thing we could do in the meantime as we prepare for the next big step is to ask for help from the viewers that support our free information that we try to post on a daily basis. You can also find us on Subscribestar, where just $1 a month, that's all it takes, $1 a month is all it takes to truly make a huge difference. If everyone gave $1 a month, it would change everything for independent media, and we could win this information war, and we can defeat the mainstream medias eventually. And of course, on Subscribestar, we post subscriber-only content that you'll only see on Subscribestar. So make sure to pledge there, become a patron. That makes a huge difference, guys. And also, don't forget to check out our Bitcoin address below in the comments and description, as well as on the screen for you to scan, if you please. And also, don't forget to subscribe to us on the alternatives. We will likely be deleted by YouTube in the next 2 years. It's already happening on a vast scale, so make sure to find us on float.app. That's flote.app. At Josh Sigurdson, as well as at Wham, W-A-M. Float.app is replacing every social media, and I mean, it's just incredible the opportunities it provides for not just creators, but for the average person who wants to get away from these nannies telling them what they can or cannot see. They plan to replace Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon. You could subscribe to us on Float and pledge with cryptocurrency. It's really innovative. We are also on BitChute at World Alternative Media, as well as so many others, Minds, PocketNet. You can find us at World Alternative Media on Instagram. There's many options. And finally, don't forget to join us at Anarchapulco 2020, the famous event, the best Liberty event known to mankind, other than perhaps Anarcho Vegas 2020. There are 2 major events coming up that we are extremely excited about, and you can use promo code WHAM, that's W-A-M, and save 10% on your tickets to these legendary conferences. There's so many amazing people speaking there. You won't want to miss it. So make sure to support in any way you can, even if it's just sharing our videos, pressing like, pressing to be notified. Anything helps, folks. You are the change you wish to see. Thanks for watching, everyone. And until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.